Hi, I'm Kevin,
And I'm Amanda.
and we are serving up
All that jam.
All That Jam, Quick Hit. Will Baumgartner on Pamlico Sound.
So now with the idea of funk itself, actually, if I kind of want to make a little bit of a connection, if this is appropriate, because I saw in one of your recent posts, this was on the band Instagram page, and I wrote this
Uh-huh.
quote down: "Funk is a hell of a drug." And so, if funk is a hell of a drug, because that was kind of the ending of one of these posts, can we talk about what it does for you? Like you got into this a little bit, but what is it about the musical maybe style itself that does it? Because I feel a certain way. I'd love to know what you think.
Yeah. So, I mean, if you, it can be broken down into like a sort of a technical thing, where, um, funk is like the creator of the 808, like that's where the 808 lives. And the 808 is like, it directly taps into your, uh, body and brain chemistry. I mean, I don't know if you've read much about the 808, but do you know what I'm talking about?
Well, I was going to ask you to explain it because first I want to make sure that everybody kind of knows what that is. So let's start there. Yeah, kind of give us a little bit of a rundown.
Well, I don't know a whole lot about it. I
Mm-hmm.
can't really actually technically explain it to you, but it's that four on the floor beat that just makes you really happy. It
Yeah.
just gives you that kick, and it kind of sends that happy feel from the base of your spine up to your brain and back down again, and you're just in there. Like just I think it's connected to the happy chemicals. Um, and so yeah, in that sense, it's almost literally a drug.
Yeah.
Um, but and before I really knew much about, I instinctively knew what funk was and could just do it.
Mm-hmm.
But when I really wanted to start um, explaining it to people in my band, who were maybe not that familiar with funk, I was like, you know, so then I started, and it's, what you hear about it being all about the one. Well, it's actually not all about the one, because actually, the bass player needs to hit on the one, or needs to keep coming back to the one. The drummer will actually often really emphasize the two and the four, um, and especially in soul, that
Mm-hmm.
two and four is super important. And funk and soul are so connected for me.
Yeah.
And then that's why I never call us just a funk band. We're a funk and soul band.
I love that.
Um, yeah, but and this other thing about this is so much, and this is why we're so audience interactive, and have our whole theatrical jive church experience, which really gets the audience involved in call and response and our funk baptisms and all these things that we do uh, that make the audience really feel like, not only like, I'm loving this and I'm dancing to it, but I'm part of this.
Mm-hmm.
Um, is that um, I get a certain, thing from just playing music alone by myself in my room, but I get like an exponentially huger thing from performing, and it's yeah, maybe a little bit about ego. I guess it is. Yeah, of course it is. It's a little bit about ego, but it's so much more about what happens between the audience and the band.
Hmm.
And that's one of the things that I just absolutely love about P Funk is I'm so excited that they're coming back after almost 5 years of not being in Colorado.
Yep.
But yeah, I can't wait for August 2nd, baby. I'm gonna be at the Ogden. Um,
Nice. That's awesome. I love it.
but what P Funk does, where they get they get the audience just so wrapped up in what they're doing, that it becomes this, like, really, to me, the ultimate goal of musical performances is it's not really a performance anymore. It's
Mhm.
like this thing that's happening between the band and the audience. So yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, like as the band leader, you got a lot of people up there, which I love. Bigger sound, really feel that energy. How do you, is it instinctive for how you are kind of letting them know either what you might want them to do or how they interact with each other? Like, how do you manage that part of it when you all are playing?
A lot of it is instinctive and just kind of happens, but definitely behind the scenes, in rehearsals,
Mhm.
or sometimes in the band huddle right before we go on stage or whatever. Um, but especially in rehearsals, um, I'll be saying to them, look, you know, um, I'm not giving you orders, but really for this vision to work, it kind of needs to work this way. Um, uh, at least listen to my suggestions, and they do. And
Mhm.
so, but
Yeah.
a lot of what happens is sort of, especially with the more seasoned musicians in the band who really have been performing for quite some time and are, you know, uh, pretty much full time musicians and performers. A lot of it is more instinctive, and they just know, and I don't have to tell them.
Right. Right.
A
That
lot
makes
of what
sense.
a lot of what happens with the women in the band, um, uh, Kali, and Miriam. Uh, it's Jessica Trinilla, but her stage name is Miriam, and Kali Love. And now we've just added Asha Romeo. So we now actually have three female vocalists in the band. A lot of what
Wow.
happens with them is, they will work on it separately, especially, like, okay, what harmonies are we going to do in this song, and who's going to take the lead where, and so on.
Mhm.
Because I give a lot of lead space to the female vocalists. In fact, more than I do to myself, and I'm one of the lead vocalists in the band as well too. But
Mhm.
I feel there's so
Yeah.
much feminine talent up on that stage. It's we need to you know um, milk that and honor it. So,
Yeah.
but a lot of what they'll do, like in terms of their dancing, and they do some. It's not like they really practice, like they're not. It's not like some old Michael Jackson, "This Is It," where you've got a choreographer or anything like that, and they're spending hours practicing their dance moves in at home or in some giant rehearsal studio, which I wish we had the luxury of doing all that, but we don't. And it's not like the Burrows
Mhm.
who do a lot of that synchronized dancing on stage. But they're doing it, and for that, I'm basically just like, y'all. I don't even have any suggestions. Like, you're doing great, because they have so much fun. It's like part of what happens with me on stage, and even in rehearsal, is I'm like, okay, well, stop watching the girls. I know it's a lot of fun to watch, but you got to remember that the next verse is coming up.
If you are enjoying All That Jam, please like and subscribe to our social media channels at All That Jam Pod on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, or visit our website, allthatjampod.com. Make sure to sign up for our email list and tune in every week for new episodes.
Also, look for full interviews on our YouTube channel. And remember, stay beautiful, but don't stay underground too long.